Bhumika Verma, Assistant Professor in CSE Department, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College. And today I am here to present and to describe something about Python programming fundamentals. So this is very basic thing that we need to know before going to know any of the programming language. So beginning with Python, that what is Python? Python is just like another programming language that we have read so far, that is C, C++, Java, and something else also. But Python here is used basically in third semester and fourth semester because it has having the subject code like BCC 302 or 304 depending upon the semester and as well as the college also. So basically this is a very basic programming language or in general purpose programming language, which is also high level by nature, and it is an open source programming language as well as it is an object oriented programming language. So basically this is open source, that means it is available to all through the public libraries in the internet domains, and it is also a case sensitive programming language. That means if I am writing any words like apple in A is capital and apple when A is small, then both these words will be treated differently. It is having an English like structure which is very easy to understand, and the code is very much readable as we have read in C and C++. The basic difference between both will be represented by this example, that is one of the programming code is written in Python, one of the programming code that is written in C. The difference here lies with the extension that we are using. That means py is the extension of a Python code as well as C is the extension of a C program. In both the programs, the work is same, that we are going to add two numbers where x and y is being declared in the very beginning, that is x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 10, and we have to add both of these, and finally we have to print whatsoever will the sum of both. In this C program, we have to include something from the library, then we have to declare a main, and then with the data type, then we have to initialize x and y with integer that is constrained into a loops or the braces. Then finally we will have to print, and for that we have to write this the %d and x and y as a sum, and finally we have to return 0. This is a basic programming code for a C that we have read so far. But when I am talking about Python, because it's a very readable and English like structure, so in this we need not to include any of the library, we need not to declare any of the data type, we just have to declare the value of the variables as well as 5 and 10, and then finally we have to print whatsoever we want to print. So there is a huge difference between both the programming code. So that means we can say that this code is very much readable and very much easy to understand and in one look, and it is also having an English like structure that is very much usable for the user as well. So apart of any other programming language, Python too has a framework that is having the collection of modules, packages that helps the developers to build the software application. This framework will help for further web applications, datas, and you can say for data analysis and machine learning and many more applications. So this is a general purpose programming language because it can be used in many of the application domain, that is machine learning, data sciences, game development, AI, web scraping, web development, and web application as well. So when I'm talking about the programming language, so there is a need that how to install Python. So apart like other programming languages, there are various versions available for Python also from the very beginning, but it depends on the user that what application and which version of the programming language he wants to download. So for downloading Python, there is a basic link that is available for all, that is http://www.python.org downloads, and in that there are various versions available, but everything you have to work out, or whatsoever version you want to take, it will work in every of the frames. But the latest version we are available till now is the Python 3.12.2 of 32-bit version. Apart of this, if the programmer wants to download any of the old version, the programming will work as well as the programming will work fine as well as for other versions also. For then after getting this link and downloading Python, then in the menu bar the application name will appear, and in that case idle will appear with having the version which the programmer has installed, like this way. Accordingly, he will click and he will get to know that he has been installed that Python, and now he is with the command shell prompt of the Python as well. Then he need to set up the command prompt or idle in the window 10 or window 7, whatsoever window that is having. Then he can also install Python with the help of VS Code or PyCharm, Anaconda, Spider or notebooks. So there are various virtual environments or for the Windows and Linux as well. So there are many of the things that he or she can install, but it depends upon the availability, easeability and reachability of any of these Python, characteristics, or you can say there are various options that he wants to install himself. Then after installing the same, the programmer will get two kinds of modes, that is idle mode and the interactive mode, or you can say that the Python shell as well as the GUI, Python GUI. So the basic view of Python shell is like this way, and Python GUI or idle is this way. So once the Python is being installed within a sign of Python code, the programmer once install anything, then he'll get this Python shell in the first view, where there is a window that is having Python shell representing something like this way, file, edit shell and this way, and this screen is having some information about the versions of whatsoever Python he has installed in his system. And then there are three angles which is also known as the command prompt. So basically, once the Python is installed, we have to set up the command prompt. This is the way I want to say that after installing the Python, any of the version, then he has to first set up with the command prompt or idle. That means command prompt is the shell mode and idle is the GUI mode. So any of the thing will be available to him. Then here there is an angle, and angles represent the interactiveness of the Python. That means if the person is writing some code onto this screen, then everything will be available and everything will be displayed then and there, whatsoever program and whatsoever expression he wants to do with the programming code. So this Python shell is having this kind of angles. There is another interactive mode which is also blackened screen, that is also having the same angles, and this is also an interactive mode. So both these are Python shells having two different colors, and they will act very similarly and they will act interactively. The second version is the idle, Python idle. Idle is the integrated development language environment that is having a script mode. So this is basically a script mode wherever there is no information about the version is available, and it will be a blank screen which is having nothing as a command prompt, or no angles will be there. Here the screen is blank and the programmer need to write all the code by himself or herself, and then he need to run this program. When he was running the same, it will be prompted within command that he want to save the things or not, he want to save this screen or not. Then the programmer need to save the things as any of the name, by any of the name having an extension .py, and then he will be able to run the code, and finally a screen like this will appear over this screen to represent the output screen of this GUI screen. So both these screens will be available overlapping each other. So here this is known as the script mode, as well as this is the Python shell mode. The difference is, first is the look, then the second is the script mode, and everything is written here in a new mode. And here this in this mode, everything will be written and the output will be displayed then and there. For this, here the programmer has to wait for running the program, saving the program, and then the output will be appeared over the screen in the Python shell as well. So I hope this will clear that there are two kinds of mode available for running a Python program. After this, you can say these are the Python features. So Python features is not new to all, and I have also used so many words into when I am talking about Python script and what describing about Python. That is, it is easy to write. It is also easy to understand. It is object-oriented programming language. It has also having some kind of standard libraries. It supports various kind of programming paradigms. It is a portable language basically. It supports the interactive mode. It is dynamically types and type checking is also there. It is extendable, scalable, integrated, and it is free and open source. And there are many more features as well. So after that, when I am talking about Python installation, after that there is a time to introduce about Python variables. So Python variable is a you can say variable is created at the moment when you first assign the value to it. That means if Python variable is a variable, or you can say that this is a name which is assigned towards something that we want to declare. So Python variable has no command for declaring any of the variable. The programmer needs to declare Python variable himself or herself. So Python variables do not need to be declared with any of the particular type, as there was with the C language, and we can even change the type after it has been set. So basically there are four kinds of the Python variables are also known as the object at that particular time. So you can say that Python variable is a kind of object or a name that is associated to a particular value. That means the name that is given on the very left side of any of the expression. That means if I am talking about this expression, so this A is a kind of Python variable which is also known as an object at a time. So talking about its attributes, so there are basically four type of attributes in this. So type, ID, value, and scopes. So type is basically the data type of any of the variable that we have read already in the C. That means what kind of data type is this? The data type will be discussed in an explanation mode in the next PPT that I'm going to discuss today. But before going to discuss in detail, I just give a small view about data type is another name that is given to, you can say that what kind of type or what kind of value is associated to a particular variable is decided. It is being read and it is being said that if A is equal to like A is equal to like this way. So this is said, or this is being visible, that this is a string associated to it. If I say that A is equal to 10, then here A is also known as integer. So that means whatsoever value is associated with a variable which will bring up to the type of the Python variable. So it this is one of the type which is also being checked by the type function which is available in the Python library. That is like this way, type function, and for that in this braces we will write the variable into it and we'll get the type, data type of the same. Then the ID is the unique value that is associated to any of the variable, which is also known as the, you can say, the memory allocation that is available to any of the data type which we are using. That will having a value, numeric value of up to 10 digit, and it will extend up to 16 digit also, 16 numeric digits. So it is visible like this way. If I am talking about type, so type of A here is the string. What is class, what is string, that is a different concept. That this is a class of string type and that is enclosed within angles. So this is a type of object. So I have told you that in Python there is a function that is type used for getting the type of the Python variable. The second will be the ID, which is also available in the Python library, and that is used to get the ID of the whatsoever variable you are saying. Like A is equal to Colombia, then ID of A will be like this way. So this is a unique ID number which is of 10 to 16 numeric digit, which I have told you, which is also showing that there is some memory location related to this ID or variable in the memory. Okay, so these are the example of all these things. So suppose I'm saying A and B, hello hello, then ID of A and B remain the same. And if I'm asked, if I question the Python interpreter as ID of A equal to ID of B, then it will return me true, because both the variables are written in a very similar manner and same. Okay. If we want to change the value of B, then B is equal, if I'm saying that B is equal to high, so A is hello, B is high. If in that case, I'll ask that ID of A equal to B, in that case, it will return me false. So this is how the type and ID is asked, and value is the very right hand side or associated to the any variable. That means after equal to, whatsoever you are declaring or whatsoever you are creating is also known as the value of the same. So this is basically the variable, this is basically the operator, this is basically the value. Okay, so these are the Python variables. Then are the Python variable name. So there are some rules according to the Python variables also. So basically Python variable must start with the any letter or any underscore character. It cannot start with any of the numbers. The variable name can contain the alphanumeric characters or underscore. Variable names are case sensitive. That means I've already told that small h, A capital, and all the cases are capital. These three are three different variables. Variable name cannot be any of the Python keywords. That means if I say Python keywords is having like till now we have studied that these are the by default function. So basically this is a kind of keyword. If I say print, so this is also a kind of keyword. So these keywords cannot be used as a variable name, because it will contradict by the Python library, because both cannot exist at the same time. So for example, if I say that this is my file and my file, both these names are valid, because everything is enclosed within the character set. That means my file, whether it is written starting from the first letter as capital, and second, all the things, all the cases are capital. The second is roll number, the third is roll number 1. Here the name is starting with alphabet and it is ending with any of the numeric, because it is possible, so it is a valid thing. But the fourth one, when one roll number is said, so this is an invalid, because the variable name cannot start with any of the numeric. The fifth is roll number, which is separated by a hyphen. This is also invalid name, because it is, this is joined with a hyphen in between. The third, then the next is roll number, which is being associated with a underscore, which is a valid variable name, because here the underscore is allowed. The break is a kind of keyword which is an invalid variable name, because it is a reserved word in the Python library that is used as a jump command. So next is the roll dot number. It is also a invalid name, because it is having an extra symbol, dot is used in between, so it will not be allowed. So only the name, if they are separated, will be written with the help or joined with the help of underscore only, not with any of the hyphen or not with any of the dot or special symbol will be used. So these are some of the example of variable name. Then is the fourth type that I have told is the scope. Scope is having what is the life of a variable within a program. So basically there are two kind of variable, that is global scope or local scope. If I'm talking about local scope, that means if this is a kind of program, okay, and here a declaration is done, here there is a function, and there is a call to the function. In this case, if I declare anything within the function, it will be known as a local variable. When I am writing anything outside this function is known as a global variable. Okay? And then when I'm going to call this thing, then this local variable will be called by the calling of this function. So global variable and local variable is very clearly defined, that the variable that is having a scope within a certain parameter or certain area, that is suppose here is the function, this is known as a local variable. When the variable is having the scope throughout the program until you have just closed the screen or the output or the script mode whatsoever, then the variable that is having the scope throughout the program is known as the global variable. So these are basically the difference between both of the global and the local variable. So these are basically the advantages and disadvantages of Python. Python advantages consist of, that is, it is having a data science library. This is embeddable. IoT opportunities is also available. Object oriented thing is embedded into it. This is very much extensible. This is also having some improved kind of productability. This is readable, portable, free and open source to all. There are huge number of advantages associated with it, but there are also little bit disadvantages. That is that is also having some kind of concern, that is the speed limitation, because the Python has having some kind of speed issues, that is also weak in mobile computing and mobile development. The design restrictions are also limited, because the database layers are in underdeveloped and very primitive stage, so you cannot easily develop any database layer, or you can rigidly say that these designs are very fixed to develop any kind of the mobile development. So these are some of the limitations for which the scientists and the coders are also working. So these are some of the disadvantages. Moving further are the casting. Casting is basically to specify the data type of the variable, and it can be done with the help of casting. That means if the programmer initially he is not able to declare, he need not to declare any of the data type, but once he have created or declared something, and if you want to change that data type, then he need to cast that thing. So it is like, if I say that x is equal to 3, so this is basically integer, but when I want to cast this thing into a string, then I should write a function string, and in which I'll declare 3, so it will give me an output 3 as a string. Here y is equal to 3, 3 is also or accordingly 3 is an integer, but still I want to write this 3 as integer, then I have to write this way. If I want to declare it as a float, then I'll write float, and then I'll write the same into it, and it will return me like 3.0. That means the 3, that is integer, was being casted into 3.0, that is a float value. So this is all about Python programming fundamentals, in which I have described about what is Python all about, difference between C and programming, C and Python programming with the help of example. Then the Python installation is being done. Then the features of Python is being discussed. Then we have discussed about the variables as well. Then we have discussed about the attributes as well, and then lastly we have discussed about the advantages and disadvantages of Python. So I hope I have cleared all the Python programming fundamentals. In the next class we're going to discuss about the operators in the data type of Python. So this is all for now. Thanks.